You can have a great idea, strong evidence, clear reasoning. But if your message is poorly organized, people won't follow it. They'll get lost, they'll lose interest, or they'll miss the point entirely. Because persuasion isn't only about what you say, it's also about how it unfolds. The order, the progression, the structure. That structure has a name, arrangement. This is Reclaiming Rhetoric. Today we're taking a deep dive into the second canon of rhetoric, arrangement. Because once an argument has been discovered, it still has to be organized. Ideas must be placed in the right order, evidence must appear at the right moment, and the message must guide the audience from beginning to conclusion. Arrangement is the architecture of persuasion. The concept comes from classical rhetoric. Greek and Roman speakers understood something important. The same information can produce completely different results, depending on the order in which it appears. Laid with confusion and the audience disconnects. Reveal your strongest point too early, and the rest feels like repetition. Bury your conclusion in the middle, and no one remembers it. Arrangement determines how ideas land. Classical rhetoricians developed a standard structure for speeches. 6 parts, each serving a different purpose. First, the introduction, sometimes called the exordium. Its job is simple: capture attention, establish the topic, prepare the audience to listen. Before persuasion begins, attention must be secured. Second, the background, often called the narration. Here the speaker explains the situation. What happened, what's the context, what problem exists. This section provides orientation. Without it, the audience struggles to understand why the argument matters. Third, the division. This is where the speaker previews the argument. What points will be made, what issues will be addressed. This section acts like a roadmap. It tells the audience where the message is going. And people follow arguments more easily when they know the path ahead. Fourth, the proof. This is where the argument unfolds. Evidence appears, examples are presented, reasoning is developed. The proof is the heart of persuasion, but its impact depends on placement. Strong evidence builds momentum, weak evidence breaks it. Arrangement determines that flow. Fifth, the refutation. Here the speaker addresses opposing views. Counterarguments, objections, alternative interpretations. Acknowledging criticism strengthens credibility, because ignoring opposition rarely convinces anyone. Responding to it shows confidence and intellectual honesty. Finally, the conclusion, sometimes called the peroration. This is where the message crystallizes. The speaker summarizes the argument, reinforces the main idea, and leaves the audience with something memorable. The final moments shape what people remember most. Arrangement saves the strongest emphasis for the end. Now here's something important. This classical structure isn't rigid. Modern communication uses variations. Problem then solution, story then lesson, question then answer, cause then consequence. Even a simple email often follows a structure. Opening context, key point, supporting detail, clear request. Different forms, same principle. Order shapes understanding. So why does arrangement work? Because the human mind processes information sequentially. One idea at a time, we build understanding step by step. When structure is clear, thinking feels effortless. When structure is chaotic, understanding collapses. Arrangement guides cognition. It helps the audience follow the argument without getting lost. But structure can also be manipulated. Important information can be delayed. Weak points can be hidden, evidence can be buried. A misleading claim can appear first, before context arrives later. Order influences interpretation, which means arrangement is powerful. Sometimes invisibly so. Consider headlines, the first sentence frames the entire story. Or political speeches, the opening defines the narrative. Or advertising, the problem appears first, then the product arrives as the solution. The sequence shapes meaning. Arrangement quietly directs interpretation. Now flip the perspective. If you're communicating, arrangement becomes strategy. Ask yourself, what must the audience understand first? What evidence should appear early? What objections must be addressed? What idea should they remember most? Structure your message intentionally, because good arguments fail when they are badly arranged. Weak arrangement looks like this. Ideas scattered, points repeated, evidence appearing randomly. Arguments that circle without direction. Strong arrangement looks different. Clear beginning, logical progression, purposeful emphasis. a path the audience can follow. So here's the diagnostic tool. When you encounter a persuasive message, ask, what appears first, what appears last? What information is emphasized, what is delayed, what is omitted? These questions reveal the architecture behind the argument. And once you see that architecture, you begin to understand how persuasion is built. Because persuasion isn't just about ideas, it's about sequence. Discovery finds the argument, but arrangement shapes how it unfolds. It turns ideas into structure, structure into understanding, and understanding into persuasion. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.